And we are live in state-controlled Britain. It's 5:30 p.m. on Christmas Eve, and hopefully you're very excited. I thought I'd do a Christmas Eve half hour, and just wish you all Merry Christmas, and probably discuss what you're going to do over Christmas. Boxing Day maybe in some countries. I learned recently don't have Boxing Day. I was going to do a live stream with Dave Mack, who's in Japan. They don't have Boxing Day. So that was quite interesting. And I just want you to know that I've got your back. So I am actually working on Boxing Day. I am off Christmas Day for a whole day. But if you're one of those people, one of my well, I don't think of them as clients. But anyway, using the WhatsApp mood and food guidance, you can do that every single day, even over Christmas. If you need any help, don't feel guilty if you succumb to temptation. Just the next day, get back on it. Don't think, well, I've done that now, so I'm going to not start until the new year. That would be my little bit of advice. We all suffer from it. We're human beings. Just talking to Jane about it and saying you've got to remember how optimal you feel, how good you feel when you eat the right way. And yes, you might get a moment of pleasure having something that maybe is off the menu, so to speak, off the carnivore menu, but you might regret it for 24 hours, 36 hours, with pains or blocked nose or headaches or not sleeping very well or being just generally sort of buzzed. So just stick with it, but don't beat yourself up, and have your protein and your healthy fats before anything else. Fill up before you go. If you're eating out, make sure that you feel fed so you can't crave too much. And I just want to get onto my Substack, which incidentally, I am going to push my Substack, and you can be a paid subscriber, but I do tons and tons, like 90% of the content is free, and I do a Substack every day. But I just want you to know the power of a narrative busting article, what happens the next day. So if I look at my general viewership on Substack, I mean, the numbers are pretty good considering I didn't start until February writing it. So I did, how does the heart tell glucose to go away? 2.25 thousand readers of that particular article. And I got a couple of subscribers from that one. Coffee doesn't give you energy, 2.3 thousand. The Randall Cycle, 2.1. The Ultimate Guide to Fasting, very popular. That was recently, 17th of December, 2.9 thousand views. Now, there's a thing about dopamine, which would be really interesting as well. I explain why many things that you think are going to be really good, and I really want to eat XYZ, whatever, chocolate bar or whatever. When you actually eat it, it's really disappointing. And I explain why that is, because dopamine isn't the pleasure centers. I explain how dopamine is more about the motivation, the go get that thing, and how in fact it is, when you eat that food, the dopamine levels actually dropped, or whatever it is that you crave. There is a point to this about the narrative and how we can be squashed, and I'm getting to it now. So then I did one about how light shapes human biology, circadian rhythms, and talking about light entering your eyes. That got 1.96 thousand. Please try and remember where we are. We're about 2,000. Some are a bit more, some are a bit less. There was a huge point coming up. Then I did VO2 max, 2.15 thousand. Dopamine, answering some questions from the first article, 1.79. That normally happens when I'm following up from an article. And then I did one called Nobody Lives Longer, but Everyone's Survival Rate Improved. And I talk about the documented changing of the stats that made cancer rates, or the survival, I should say, so the overall mortality, how they improved, and also that people were living longer under this new modern medicine. I basically did all the public details and showed the stats and how it is all literally just manipulation of numbers and an artifact of earlier detection. So you get these anomalies where you could have a group where, let's say there was 10 people in that group, and the average survival was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Okay, so the average would be 5. And then you've got the healthy group as as a contrast, and whatever their survival rates are. But then with earlier detection, all of a sudden, you might get the people that have lived for, just 1, 2, 3 years coming out of that group. So the average goes up. Anyway, that's the gist of it. But that's not what I want to talk about, to be honest. It's just how the numbers are manipulated. But no one actually lives longer. And it's actually called that, when nobody lives longer, but everyone's survival rate improves. And it talks about how they did that. That does go against the narrative. Remember how many views I was getting? The very next Substack got 83 views. 83. And consistently since February, I've had over 2,000 views, or around 2,000 views, every single one. And as soon as I do something about the mainstream, the next day, nobody knows what I'm doing. Nobody can see it. Right. So the point I'm making is, as a few people have put in the chat there, can you make sure that you like and subscribe? And if you want to go to the Substack and support the Substack, you don't have to pay for it. The ukcarnivore.substack.com. And that really helps. And then I could also ask you on here, did you get your update? Did you get your notification? It's happening on YouTube. It's happening on my Substack. I've already had a warning letter from Facebook and X this year. And there you go. And people being unfriended. So let's have a little look at who's in the room. Carnivore Muscle Jonathan, thank you. Hello. I'm glad you're present. That's very kind of you. I shall raise my fatty latte to you, Jonathan, and to the feral grandma, who's been a big supporter. I'm going to actually have a swig of my fatty latte. That's so good. If you're trying to get off coffee, that's a gateway way of doing it, which is 100 milliliters of water, 2 egg yolks, pinch of salt, a little bit of vanilla essence in a cap full of vanilla essence, pinch of salt, like I say, and you put the egg yolks in with the salt, with the vanilla extract, and you've got a mixer, blender, boil up your 100 milliliters of water, you start the blender, slowly put in the hot water, and you've got a fatty latte. And that was Coach Cherish that did that. And, there you go. So let's have a look. Yes, feral grandma is talking about, let's do this. So, yes, I have to decide if I'm going to assemble a gingerbread house. There will be 7 carb munchers here from today, from later today through the course of the weekend. One is 16 and at risk of going down the path Lee Copus was on. Sadly, Lee Copus, as we know, the Kent carnivore, lost his colon, and we feel that it was probably fibre that did it. But there you go. Daniel there, hello from New York. Oh, what an honour to have people from New York. I've been doing this now a long time. It's not really my natural habitat, being online. But it's great, and it's the only way to get the message out there. You have to do it, and to get people from all over the world is still gives me a bit of a buzz. Coach Casey, hello. The feral grandma is saying lots of things there, which is great. To in and throw in. You could make, here's a suggestion. You could make no carb, low carb foods for them. Yes, you definitely could. I make things like carnivore mashed potatoes a la Chris Cooking Nashville. Yes, you can replace potatoes with celeriac, for instance, I think, and mash that up. There's always plenty. The only interest shown was when oldest grandson said, I don't have to eat vegetables, which is good. Yes, you don't have to. It's really good, isn't it? Carnivore Invictus, hello. Just got the notification. Hope I'm not too late. Well, it was a sort of last minute thing, mainly because I had so many messages talking about how to navigate Christmas. And I thought, well, I should do it. Yes, it is Christmas Eve. But, by the way, this is why I'm nice and casual today. No, I haven't even shaved. Terrible, isn't it? But I also have my school meeting to do. I didn't want to let anyone down because I do a regular Wednesday wellness. And I thought, well, yes, Christmas Eve. It falls on a Wednesday, but I think people rely on being able to talk things through. So here I am, and thank you for turning up. Yes, Pa. Yes, now I remember the story about the beads. Yeah, Pa Beader 1941, Carnivore for Life. Excellent. Carnivore Invictus. It took me 10 plus years to lock myself in so that I never fall off the wagon, not even on holidays. This is the thing that Jane and I had a great conversation about. I just did a reel of what we've eaten tonight, which was a ribeye. We're not rich, by the way, quite the reverse. But we spend the money on the food because we don't spend it on medications or going to the doctor. Sadly, obviously, with Rupert going to the vet after he got attacked. But that was a big rude awakening, £1,400 to get him operated on and tons of meds. But we all know the story. We didn't use the meds and he's getting much better. But anyway, we don't spend our money on those sort of things or alcohol and, loads of other things. But we do spend it on the food. So anyway, tonight we had salmon, bacon, fillet of steak, a ribeye, and pigs in blankets, because it was, festive. It was fantastic. And Jane fancied a little bit off piste, so she got a avocado and made a little bit of guacamole, I think you said it right. So Roxbury Racer, need help having heart palpitations, skip beat the dub. Yeah, I understand what you mean, because people say lub dub almost all the time. All electrolytes tested good, thyroid good, heart monitor comes off today, and mail it in. Any idea what it could be? Well, this is, if you've been wearing a monitor, this isn't medical advice, by the way, it's always information. That will be very revealing. And I think if you come back with that data, that would be really handy. Palpitations, there are many reasons for that. Sometimes it's the compression, just the compression of the nerves that run up from the gut. Just the space in your torso can just be one of those causes. Yes, electrolytes can be a problem. When we do electrolyte mineral testing in blood, that isn't as good as doing like RBC, magnesium, and basically there are other tests that you can do which are more indicative of what's going on in the tissue. Harry Zapanos is a big fan of the hair mineral testing. I've never been a big fan, but I respect him and he thinks it's a good thing to do. I have him on the channel, I think, in a week's time. So we're going to talk about stuff like that. If the palpitations are worse at night, that can lead to other things. It could possibly be postural hypertension. There's literally your heart has to adjust when you lay down and stand up. And they can put you on what's like a tilt table, and they can work out the difference, how hard your heart has to work when you go from lying to standing. And there is a certain threshold to make sure it's not a problem there. So yeah, there's too many variables. Roxbury Racer, I'm sorry. If you're taking lots of electrolytes, one of the things you could do is actually stop the electrolytes. Just go back to being a bit old school, and a small glass of water with just a pinch of salt 3 times a day might be all you need to do, just to have a reset. If your urine is clear, then you are drinking too much water and you need to hold back so your urine is straw colored. I have no affinity with this group. For instance, this urine testing strip is amazing. It measures your specific gravity, ketones, bilirubin, glucose, pH, protein, nitrates, quite a few things there. Specific gravity is interesting. If you are drinking too much water, it will be a very low score. And the fact that you can look at your urine and it's clear is all you really need to do. But yeah, there's too much there, really. I'm sorry. Get the data and come back with a bit more data. And then you see, this is where I'm not saying what you tell me is not the truth. Where it says thyroid good, well, is that just a TSH reading? Because many GPs and people in their everyday medicine will look at TSH only, and they won't look at other things. So from that basic information, I would say, where I was going, by the way, at nighttime, you can get quite stressed because you're just more aware of your heart, because it's quieter and, there's less outside noise, obviously, and you're more focused on trying to get some sleep. And then you start to hear your heart, and it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You think, oh, that doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel right. So, yeah, there's loads of things it could be. But what I would say is you need maybe a bit more nuance, especially with all the tests that are being done. And you could actually say, well, thank you for the blood tests on the electrolytes. Can we do some more looking at what's in the tissue rather than, what's in the blood? That'd be helpful. The body is remarkable with its biochemistry and making sure that all of your things like sodium, potassium, magnesium, they're all strictly and strongly regulated. So the blood can sometimes give you a false impression of what's going on elsewhere in the body. Thank you. Right, the Feral Grandma is saying, I love the Substack. Thank you very much. Oh, Sweden, that's good. Yes, excellent. That's a Ricard. Yeah, Ricard, yes, yes, okay. Going to AYCE chicken wings for Christmas Eve dinner. Excellent. What the heck is a Substack? Well, a Substack is just an article. So it's a bit like Facebook, but with intelligent articles being written rather than posts. And you can subscribe to it. And then every morning your email will say, there's a new Substack. And today it's about coffee being your secret weapon or your heart rate variability, if it's not banned from being looked at. So yeah, and every day you read it, and some days you like it. Hopefully every day you like it, but some days you don't. But the idea is to give you all the information, lots of references if you want all the science, and there's lots of other things. Laura, hello all. Hello, Phil. Oh, good, Phil. Excellent. Good to see you. That's excellent. Lots of things going in the chat here. Feral Grandma, excellent. It's where you can read the article someone has listed. Worth finding the link for Stephen's channel to it. Maybe I shall put it in the chat. How about that? Let's do that. Let's do that if I can from there. Bear with me, folks. It's Christmas Eve, and I haven't got any little helpers, so I'm going to put it in the chat. And it's free. If you want to support what I do, then you can. You can pay, and every so often I do extra bonus information for people that are paid subscribers, which is always nice to see them read that. So Dutch Carnivore says hi from the Netherlands. Woohoo! Dutch Carnivore. Yeah, good. Thank you. Nice to see you. Your channel's excellent. And if you don't know the Dutch Carnivore, very, very knowledgeable young man, or makes me sound very old, doesn't it? I'm 61. Can't be saying that. Yes, he's very, very intelligent, very knowledgeable. Pat is saying hello and Merry Christmas to all from NC. They've got notified on YouTube, which is good. Carnivore Coach saying hello. That's good. Casper is not here. That's good. I always message when I'm not here. It's excellent. It's a good idea. I wonder where you are. Phil is saying, has anyone seen Casper? No. I think he's friendly. Maybe he's a ghost. I don't know. That's a bit of an obvious joke. I do apologise. Good Christmas Eve from my home to yours. Cork in Ireland. Yes, very good. That's excellent. I'm ashamed to say I have never been to Ireland. Really need to get going there. And when I did my honours, my English degree, I have 2 honours degrees, and the English was the first one. I did a bit about Ireland and the humanities and all the good things about Ireland that's over the many, many decades of writing and work and poetry and all that. Beth says, I watched the video last night from Primal Bod saying eating fat does make you fat. What are your thoughts on this, please? Merry Christmas. But it's a very hard thing to understand that fat makes you fat, because there are people eating lots of fat and losing weight. Losing body mass, so it's probably very reductive. You can eat too much of everything, that is true. You can have too much to eat on carnivore, and that will cause a problem, but it's incredibly difficult, and everybody knows this. You don't really need science, but science has been used to prove this. So if you do believe in calories, which most people who watch this channel don't, but just to make it easy and relative to the study, when you take human beings and do overfeeding studies, not rats, not extrapolations, not guesswork, but actually look at humans being given amounts of food that they are allowed to eat freely, people on the carb and protein diet, especially with carbs, were able to eat 11 times the amount than those eating protein and fat. So if we're going to implicate, firstly, overeating, then overeating carbs is easy to do. Secondly, what's the mechanism of putting fat on your body? What's the main hormone that locks in the fat? Well, it's insulin. That's the main one. Well, what happens is it's yin and yang between insulin and glucagon. You've got two worlds, basically. Insulin world, which is the world of abundance and storing, and the glucagon world, which is the world of trying to break things down and get things moving. And anyway, so yes, insulin, you elicit a huge response from carbohydrates. So that fat storage hormone, which locks out fat burning. You can't liberate fat when there's high amounts of insulin in your body. Comes from carbs, doesn't come from fat. So yeah, primal bod doesn't know what they're talking about. And I think real people's experience is the easiest thing to look at, isn't it? Because we have so many people eating high fat diet and losing weight, losing body fat. So there you go. Georgia, USA, excellent. Phil there saying another New Yorker. Yeah, I gave up my coffee. Right, terrible. Carnivore Muscle showing us a bicep. Don't forget, I'm seeing Carnivore Muscle next week. We're doing a live together, and we're going to pick his brains about his supplement stack, pain management, and training. I mean, that's just scratching the surface. The guy is, got lots of knowledge about so many different things, and also personal experience, which we cannot get enough of. Personal experience tops everything. Clinical presentation. You know what I just said about the fat thing. When you have proof, when you have over 1,000 clients over 11 years, and none of them have had to do a low-fat diet to lose weight, and these people are losing a lot of weight. And then when I was a high-carb advocate for 5 years before, my success was dismal. I would celebrate someone losing 7 pounds when we were doing low-fat, high-carb. It was pathetic, the amount of people that didn't lose much weight. But I thought I was doing good until I went the other way and realized that I'd been lied to. So, yeah, great. Pa Bida, how is the doggy doing? Cyril still working good? Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yes. Literally 2 days after the surgery, the dog was not on any of the meds that they'd recommended, which was paracetamol and gabapentin and another anti-inflammatory, and each one was supposed to be taken 3 or 4 times a day. We took him off all of those because he was getting other things, which is constant what you get with medications. Or certainly when they're mixed, he was breathing badly, he was very lethargic. Took him off, put him on Stem Enhance after speaking to Bart, whether that was good or not. So I took a flyer on that. And, within 2 days, the fur on his tail, you would have thought, well, where did all that come from? That's incredible growth. But his overall demeanor, his energy, amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, yeah. Yes, completely and totally wrong. That doesn't make physical sense. Oh, about the fat making you fat. To be honest, I mean, it's just an easy thing to say. It sounds like it would be right, doesn't it? Yeah. But that's ridiculous, because if you eat a lot of bananas, you don't become a banana, do you? It's just really crazy. Coach Casey's got a question. I'm down with a cold today. Should I skip my scheduled workout or push through? Would fasting benefit my immune system? Oh, big questions there. I don't know you well enough. I tend to go with what your body says, because some people get so depressed by missing a workout, it's counterproductive. Normally, if you're substandard or below par, I wouldn't work out. I would actually just recuperate, recover, rest. Make sure that you drink plenty of fluids which hydrate you. So that will include some salt, at least, as an electrolyte. Hydration isn't about drinking water. It's about the osmotic effect of what you're drinking, and it's normally down to your electrolytes that you need. So a little pinch of salt is always good. Would fasting benefit your immune system? Do you feel hungry? See, the body will shut down. If it doesn't want food, it will tell you. If you look at food and don't fancy it, I would actually go with that. I think next year I'm going to try and get people a bit more intuitive. Yes, I'll do checklists, but with rule of thumbs, how much protein, etc., how often should you train, but then get people to do what I'm trying to do now, which is try and go with your instinct, your gut feeling, because I think in the end that's the thing that's going to do you the best service. That's why we have all these wonderful receptors and sensors, and why we've got great grey matter, you know, is to be able to process these things, find out what's going on in our body and work out what's best for us. But I certainly wouldn't force food down. But yeah, I would probably skip the scheduled workout. That would be my gut feeling. So I'm using my gut feeling, but I don't know you as a person. Hopefully next year we'll get to know you a bit better. Right. Roxbury Racer, I'll ask about that. That's great. Okay. Carnivore Invictus. From my understanding, it's difficult to store fat in the absence of insulin. Yes. I'm not sure how much insulin response is necessary to store fat, but without carbs, it's more difficult. That's exactly right. The thing I used to do when I was an advanced personal trainer, this is the textbook of medical physiology guidance. It's famous. If you ask a doctor about it, if they've got anything about them, they will know what this book is. And if anyone said to me, oh, it's all about calories, this is even, you know, before I knew about all this stuff, and I was a high carb advocate, I would point to these things here and say that you don't have to pay for lots of things if you can keep your insulin down, because it says here increased metabolic use of fat is caused by insulin lack. Terrible title, by the way, but that's what I wrote it. All aspects of fat metabolism are greatly enhanced in the absence of insulin. So even then I sort of knew that not having insulin in your body would help you burn fat. So it's known. I think that's the point I'm trying to make. It's known. It's absolutely known. So here we go. Michelle was saying, would love if you could come to Ireland, Stephen. We would love to have to hold an event here. We really need it. Well, yes, Michelle, get organising and I'll come over. Right. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I am going over to school at 6 o'clock for a school meeting. And you might think, well, what is school? I'll quickly show you if you don't know what school is, because somebody said the other day, just now, don't know what it is. Let's quickly do a screen share, which is the whole point of talking about it, so you could learn about it. Might as well screen share it. Oh, here we go. Why is that not getting on the thing? Present it. Should be there. It says stop screen share, but it's not actually sharing. So that's rubbish, isn't it? Add to stage. There we go. Not working. Isn't that rubbish? Hang on. Yeah. Oh. No, we're going to get it. We're not going to get it, are we? There we go. There we go. Got there in the end. Right. So over at school, you can join and you can do loads of questions. Richard Smith there's not dry fasting. He's doing a little thing for all the members where you can jump in and do things with him. And if that's not to your liking, there's also a classroom where there's loads of things you can do. I'll put a link in the description so you can join. There are loads of courses you can do. Free keto course. There's a how to be carnivore. And then we do lots of educational stuff like thyroid. There's free ebooks. There's videos talking about it. Dairy, fruit and veg. We have PDFs from the actual food growers telling you the inside skinny on how when you pick an apple, over a year later, it's still not on your supermarket shelf. These are all official documents, which are public record. So when you say about fresh fruit and veg, it's a lie for most supermarkets. I'm not talking about your farmer's market or your tree in your garden. Free ebooks, all about that, and videos. Protein, problem solving, and once you've been very active, you get up to level 8 and you can download 3 of my books as ebooks. We've got the Healthy Living Club and also premium content if you want to learn even more. We've got premium content there as well. And the calendar is full of live question and answers. Look at this. We did one on Monday at 6 p.m. Oh, on the back of one at 8 p.m. on Sunday. And then here we are now, me here, and then 6 p.m. the Wednesday wellness and Christmas Eve. And then we'll still be there on Sunday at 7. I haven't put that in yet, 8 o'clock. So there's loads of stuff. If you want to join, let's just stop that. You can. So I will put a link in the description and you become part of the community. Just take part. Just become part of us. It's great. Lots of like-minded people to get you where you want to be. And I think that would be, a good thing for you. And hopefully I will see you in school in a minute. If you're interested in the learning, you can use the second link and it will show you the different plans that you can do. And so I'm going to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. If you're not over in school, well, or in our community, I should say. It's not really like school. I mean, who wants to go to school? No one wants to go to school. I didn't want to go to school when I went to school. But anyway, I'll see you over there if you're a member. If you're not a member and you want to join, the links are in the chat right now. And this obviously will be up, so it'll be in the description as well. Have a Merry Christmas, and I hope to see you in 2026 looking fitter and healthier. Make sure that you check out Fat Cow for the tallow soaps, because they've got some great offers there, which are amazing. Or maybe my Substack you could do as well. So anyway, great. Be cool and go to school, says Coach Casey. See you over there. Thanks, YouTubers. It's been a fantastic year, and enjoy your Christmas day tomorrow.